Hey, 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 hey. Hey, everybody. How's it going? Hey, KJ. Hey, Bryn Marshall. Hey, Candace. Par. Beach Bum. Lee here. Trace on the case. Olive Heatley. Carrie Ann. How's your baby? How's your baby doing? T.S. Jackson 72. Janet. Good to see you. Y'all been chatting it up. Good. Brenda Pyru or Piru? Where I come from? I want to say Piro. Donna Donald. Cherry Pie. Good to have you here. Always. Mm, that's love right there. Love. Love, love, love. Um, I always want to say fetus, but it's Festus. I get it. Festus's mom. Good to see you. I'm late too. Always. I'm late, always on time. Was Wasport. That's a tongue, not really a tongue twister, but it's hard to Wasport. Everybody do it. Wasport. That's a tough one. Um, Olive says, "Hi guys, this is so ironic. I had been listening to Annie's channel with timeliness, etc. So decided to watch Chad's preliminary. Oh my god, yeah! Knowing what you know now, when you go back, you're like, oh my god, so many things just pop out and slap you across the face. It's nuts. And Chad is arrogant. He is an arrogant prick. Me and Jason were just having this conversation before I came back here, because Chad has a hearing on July 29th, uh, requesting the transcript from the trial. Um, he's a prophet, seer, revelator, right? Anyways, I guess that wasn't in their master plan. But it's just, I told Jason. Jason said, well, maybe he's wanting to plea out. And I was like, no. I mean, that's just my intuition. I also thought that Lori was going to take the stand. So, you know, it's, I just can't see Chad crawfishing, stepping backwards. He, with what he's told his family, his kids, he's had, he, I guess, used his patriarchal power or whatever, and allegedly convinced his kids to not have a autopsy done on their mother. Then had Garth allegedly help move Tammy's body. I mean, these things you don't do to your children, much less your wife, so or any other kids or any other people. You just don't do this. But he's an arrogant prick, and he always wanted what everybody else had. But his fat ass didn't want to go to work. His fat ass was lazy. His wife had no soles on her shoes, because she's the breadwinner. She went out and she busted her ass to enable him, who already exalted himself. It's so gross. It's gross. Chad was jealous of his brothers, allegedly. Um, he was pissed off, when nobody, like, his sister-in-laws wouldn't really pay any mind to his books. Nobody wants to read that shit. We do it just because we want to learn something. Because he murdered people, allegedly. That's why we do it. It's a labor of love or something. But um, he he wanted what my uncle had, and that's something. Even if, I mean, that's just something you don't get it that way. You get it by being a good person. You get it by having goodness in your heart. You don't get it by praying, Prey, or praying the way that they do. That it's called integrity. It's called a moral compass. It's called just, it's just good. And that's what my uncle represents. And that's something that Chad Daybell won't get in this lifetime or any other lifetime. And that's how I feel about that. He's a piece of shit, in my opinion. I feel like that air conditioner is too loud. But hey, Dora. Hey, just me. Good to see you. His eyes, they're dark. They're black. They, they got the demons. I mean, I don't know how to prove that. It's just a change. It's a complete change from, and for sure, who my aunt was before. Lori was, I mean, obviously she's been a shitty person with the spotlight and hindsight and the luxury of looking back. She didn't present that to us. I know I hear a lot of creators, they're like, she was never a good mother. How can, they say that she was a good mother and she was a good person? Because that's what she showed us. I don't know. I wasn't around her that much. Thank God. Or I might have whipped her ass. I might have should have. Somebody needed to. But I don't know. So that's kind of aggravating because, I mean, we're not lying. We're not like, oh yeah, she was a great mom. I mean, what do we have to gain or lose from that? That's what she presented us. Obviously, she was not. But I wonder, it makes me wonder. Y'all know I'm a researcher at heart. I'm philosophical big time. I like to really dig deep into things. And I know that when I look back at like what it was like, what it must have been like for Lori and Chad to be born into a religion that is, in my opinion, how do I say this? It is, I mean, and of course, it's in the eye of the believer too. So there's a spectrum of belief, big time, not just in Mormonism, just across the board. Everybody, mankind. And not everybody agrees. We have different devils, different levels. Everybody's doing their own thing. We're all just trying to get through this life. We're not going to get out alive. But in my opinion, from research and everything that I've done and researched into this religion, there's the only Christ that's in this church, in my opinion, is in the name. And that's, I don't know. Besides on an individual basis. But as a whole, I don't see God. I don't feel good. I don't get that. I'm not picking that up. It's all sinister and it's just twisted and misconstrued and warped to fit thy own narrative, or however you want to say that. And that's what it is. And it's gross. So, I mean, is Chad far off base? Not really. Not according to Mormonism. So I think about, I try to see things through Chad and Lori's eyes, which is hard. That's a task. But that's kind of what I set out to do. I didn't want to, I think that's why I, didn't cling to catechism stuff, growing up. I didn't cling to church. And I don't know. And maybe that was a good thing because then I would not have been able to go into studying Mormonism, the scriptures and everything, looking to see where Chad and Lori's beliefs differed from actual Mormonism. I was expecting to see a clear divide, and I honestly, there's not. It's very much Mormonism. The only thing that differs is the word zombie, and that's just a hip term, if you will. I'm gonna go turn that air conditioner off because It's bothering me. It's loud. For me, it's new, so I don't know which buttons. And it's, oh my goodness. I don't know the buttons by heart. Might have to turn it on in a minute. Oh, I need some Botox. See these? See all this? I don't like it. These hang down. I didn't used to have those. When I put on my eyeliner, I look like a 5-year-old. I'm like, and you got to do like this. You got to do all kinds of stuff. Silly. I am going to melt. No, I'm melting, right? That's some Arizona witches. So, anyways, this week I dabbled in a lot of things, except for how to be on time. Yeah, that banner down there is for our channel members. Thank you so much. Donna made that. She's awesome. So let me try and get to, yeah, I agree, cherry pie. I've been just kind of tossing some things around. I've been kind of working how I orbit, and so when I run across something, I'm like, oh, okay, so I go and I've been compiling different topics. This week I just didn't know what. It could be any of them or all of them, however y'all want to do it. And because there's plenty to talk about. But I've listened to a lot of Mike Stroud's podcasts. And we know, it's part of trial testimony now. It's in the trial testimony. Mike Stroud was a very big influence in Chad and Lori's belief system. And so, when you hear the podcast and then when you read things, sometimes they come across different. Again, we're further down the road. I have a lot more hindsight, So I ran across, he has books that basically, which, a lot of people do this. I think Julie Rowe did it too, where you basically take what I'm doing right now or something, and then you take the transcript and you turn it into a book. That's what they do. So his books are based off of his podcast. But I figured there'd be some more, more nuggets in Mike Stroud's books rather than the podcast, So I don't know how I missed this before, but it's how to have your second comforter experience. In Mormonese, I call it Mormonese. That means to see Jesus Christ in the flesh, in the temple. That is to have your calling and election made sure. It's the Morsher word prophecy. More good, Mormon, more. More crazy. But I was like, oh my God. Oh, so Zalema, she was a bugaboo. And that really became apparent to me when they read that in the trial testimony. What? My calling election made sure. Am I going to get my calling election made sure? So it's not, again, I'm going to say it until the cows come home, that this is not Chad's cult. It's not its own entity. It is the same as, they were members of the church until they weren't, allegedly. So I know I got to talk about Uncle Charles, but so these are the topics. So, these are going to be coming up anyways. So I want some feedback, because I kind of tend to stay away from Mike Stroud stuff, the boring stuff, right? A lot of people, I'm like, nobody's even going to show up, but I'm like, I got to get it out there. I got to say it. I've got to do my part. And I find it fascinating because It originates from somewhere. There's source, you know. I have a good idea what source is. And it's time that they be held accountable because they don't get to exalt people. They don't get to marry or seal people who are already, married and sealed to other people. That's called polygamy. Secret. It's a secret. Shh. Right. So just, that's all I can say is, Hey, DJ. Oh, good to see you. So yeah, how to have your second comforter experience. How to physically see Jesus Christ in the flesh. I'm sorry, as Lori and Zalima have done, allegedly. I read Mike Stroud's books based off of his podcast, the very same podcast that Chad and Laura Horror listened to and were heavily influenced by. Then I wanted to start going over trial testimony. I want to pick Audrey apart, but she's not even in my notes. But I mean, I did it the other day. It was just me, but she's a liar. In my honest opinion, she is a damn liar. And it bothers me because she fooled so many people again. That's what they do. They don't know how to tell the truth. They don't even know what the truth is. So the reason I really, it's my gut feeling also, I mean, just don't like her. It was fake. It was fake. You can see fake, you're like, that's fake. Anyways, but I was going to go over Zalima's testimony because I remember being in Boise and I think I immediately went to the hotel, did a live stream. I think it was 5 hours long. You could tell I was missing home, right? Hey, A. Aguilar and Katie too. How y'all doing? Yeah, not the same Jesus. She would. I think so too, Janet. I think so too. Well, we might have to rearrange, but we can do that. So, but I want to just kind of go line by line. There's so much in there, even though it's the same shit, basically. It's the same things that we basically already read and learned from the FOIA docs. But now it's part of the transcript, which is the 404B crap. Thank God for prior bad acts being allowed in, the only thing that bothered me about it, but I was so glad that I got to hear my Uncle Charles's name so many times, and that was good. It was powerful. But like when my mom was testifying, she had to say when my brother was killed, when my brother died, and that's how everybody referenced it. Nobody said murdered, allegedly, but he was very much at the center of all this, as he's always been. He's the hero, in my opinion. Anyways, I really miss my uncle. And I'm a little tired because I stayed up last night with these young chicks, my moderators. And so I'm going to eat and then pass out after this. But I mean, I was talking to them last night and or early this morning, and just, I don't know, just getting it out, just talking about my experience and how in tune I was intuitively. And I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I don't have the answers. I just know what I experienced. And what I experienced is really, it's so real. I don't know how to put that into words. It's not going to please everybody. How else do you tell your story? How do you tell theirs without, you have to kind of tell yours. They're not here. So, but they're always at the heart of it. Always. Hey, Eli or Ellie. I always forget. Good to see you. Very spiritual. I don't know. And so I look back and I there's a whole year that I cannot remember it. It's a blur. And that was July 12th, 2019. That was that was when my life would never look the same. Ever. Ever. Ever again. Um, it's one thing when you learn about a family member or somebody you're close to. It's one thing to find out that, they died, they passed away, they, of just normal, natural life ending, just that's the norm. But something happened, you know, I was in my mom's shop. My mom and Larry they had a shop. They owned a company with fleet of vehicles and buses and a transportation company. And I used to really enjoy, this is me. I love physical work. Used to. Now my life has changed, right? And so my mom and Ashlyn, my daughter, they left, and they were going to go do their nails together. And they left, and then I mean, it wasn't even a couple minutes, and I just heard it's like concrete driveway and then rock, and I could hear the rocks. And I mean, I'm just like, what the hell is going on? And I mean, you're just like, what? And so I just see my mom's. I don't even remember what it was. I don't even remember what she drove. I don't know. Anyways, but I just remember the doors flying open. It was black. I remember that. The doors flying open, passenger and driver side. Ashlyn, my daughter, just sprung out. They both sprung out of the vehicle, and I just stood there like, what the is going on? And so Ashlyn runs up to me, and I'm just like, what? You're just trying to figure it out what's going on. And Ashlyn is like, Mom, she said, Uncle Charles is dead. And I was like, what? And she was like, they killed him. And I was like, oh my God. And I don't even know what that meant. They, what? And I flew into a rage. And my mom she was on the phone. Oh, okay. My mom was on the phone with Cole, Charles's oldest son, my cousin. And, it was just so fast. It was so much. It was so intense, and it was so life-changing, earth-shattering. And my life would never be the same after that day. And then it got worse, Life was crazy for a long time. Still kind of is. But in your heart, I do. I know in my heart. I knew in my heart. I mean, I didn't live near my uncle, but their demeanor. I just sense that. I can tell whether I'm gonna jive with somebody or not. If they're kind of nervous or whatever all the time, I kind of pick up on that, and it makes me nervous, and it drains me or whatever. And my uncle was so passionate, and he was gentle. He engaged in a conversation with you. He could repeat what you said. He was engaged, and he was corny. He was so corny. Everything was punny, punny, punny. And I really love that about him. I relate to him with that. And because I do my puns all the time. And it's his personality. And he was generous. And he was kind. And he was a good dad. And he was a good person, a good friend, a good brother, a good uncle. Um, and he worked hard. He loved his family. He loved God, whether it was Mormonism or Catholicism, because he went from one frying pan into the other, one extreme to another. And it fascinates me because I'm like, how does one go from one extreme father who's Catholic to an extreme wife who's Mormon? You know, I don't think he really connected to the actual religion. I don't think so. Any of them. I think he was just. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just being biased. Maybe I think he thinks like me. I can't prove it, but I just know. I don't know. Whatever source is, I've loved that, and that's my guide. You know, and it's good. My God doesn't tell me to kill anybody. My God doesn't have scriptures. You know, my God's temple is my body. He made my heart, and that's how I think. You don't have to think like I do. That's what makes the world go round. Um, but I don't understand, a lot of things about this. I know I'm never going to understand, and I'm okay with that. But I really do spend all of my time trying to put as many pieces of the puzzle together, and I do. It's a little bit here, and it same as how I remember when I met Jen, the old mom, True Crime Unveiled. When she came along, I was like, oh my God, I didn't have to. It's like I didn't even have to communicate with her. It was the weirdest thing, I was just like, what? Cool, yay! I'm so glad. But how's this working? How do we just, we're so on the same level. I don't even have to say some things, and she's like, oh yeah. I'm like, wow. And she lives in Utah. She's an ex-Mormon who's now lesbian. I mean, she's just, how do you meet people from thousands of miles away and connect with them so much? Through tragedy. Through God, in my opinion. That's the cool thing. I was saying silver linings long before anybody else. That's one of the silver linings in this. One of the many. Every one of you are a silver lining in this. And that's so pretty, to me. Um, but anyway, so that day was tragic. I went into a rage. I'm not. That's not me. I mean, I've been pissed off before. I've been pissed off. I say a lot of mean stuff when I'm mad or pushed into that corner or whatever, and I did. But there was nobody on the receiving end. It was just, and I was just like, what? You know, what? How can, I don't understand, self-defense. What? We didn't even know. We didn't even know till the next day. Chad had already, called the cremains. That bothers me. That pisses me off. That's cocky. That's it bothers me. That's the evil part to me. Those little digs, Chad saying, what about the 2 bullets in his chest? What about the death penalty? Anyways, just saying, I can, but I'd rather get it out, than hold all that in It's a process. And I don't know how long it lasts. I'm sure till I die. But yeah, that was Chad trying to since that was Chad trying to destroy evidence and get away with murder. But they tell on themselves. They're so dumb. Burner phones, and then anyways, they can obviously track the tracker phones. you know, uh, Put out a public service announcement and tell all the sneaky people, if you got a burner phone, better go burn it. Just saying. Right, DJ? That's what I do. That's what y'all allow me to do here is get it out. And although I am very measured and reserved, that's just who I am. It's grace. Um, it was hard. It was hard. That was so hard. And so nothing ever looked the same again, ever. I've spent every day, I've gone back and looked at my Google photos and everything. I started doing background checks on the 13th of July. I was like, oh my God. I mean, instinct, boom. I started, paying for whatever. Forget the service name. BeenVerified.com, whatever it is. And I mean, I went through everybody. I still have all that, I went through a lot of ink. Yeah, they did so much because they're such good. ah, they suck, right, Olive? Oh my God, they suck. But they're so. All he did was think with a storm, and she dragging him by it, and he's like, okay, that's how dumb he is. Anyways, hey, Detective's daughter, so good to see you. Your meds kick in, right? She's on her, hopefully, a speedy recovery. You and your Mr. Detective's daughter, almost. Sorry. Yeah, I say so too, Beach Bum. And you know what? That's crazy, or that's a good point, Beach Bum, because Lori, the death penalty should have remained on the table. Because if people would just hear me out, or just be patient with me and just say, okay, get it out, just tell me, and I didn't feel like because it's everywhere. It's everywhere. I'm like, oh, because it's ginormous. You ever tried to cram 4 years? Mormonism in your brain for and deal with trauma and pain and all this, and then regular life. It's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot. So there's a lot in this brain, but it's like, I don't know, I don't know how to catalog it, besides here in spurts, as it's relevant, and it should have never been taken off the table, because Mike Stroud's teaching how to see Jesus in the flesh. Isn't that the craziest? When you heard Lori had said, that she married Moroni, and you're like, who the hell's Moroni? Moroni, right? Who is that? I don't even know who these people are. And I remember whenever I heard Korhor, do y'all notice also that the worst thing, the biggest reaction we have gotten from Lori damn Daybell was when Melanie Phibb called her a damn Korhor. She was like, oh, I need to get me an answer on this, bitch, basically. And then they had Korhor wars. And then that became a everyday word in my house. I even put it on a shirt. And then I was like, oh, shit, let me look this up. Make sure it's not blasphemous or nothing, I look it up. It was on Wiki Fandom. That's where I found it. Okay. A lot of these things. Korihor in Mormonese is Antichrist, or like Donna told me something about an apostate or whatever. It's another label. They either label you crazy, or they label you an apostate or an anti-Mormon. Okay, if you're not for the church, you're against the church, or you get busted. Doing some really shitty stuff. And then they distance. And then it works for them because they have power. Everybody just, it drives me insane to hear people say, Chad's cult, yeah, it has nothing to do with Mormon beliefs. Oh my God, if I had a dime for every time I heard that, I'd be rich. I've done it myself until I knew better. And then I was like, no, you don't get to do this. You don't get to shit on my family's head all the way around. No. It's time to be held accountable for all the crappy things that church puts out. That's where I stand. And if that means another business card in my house from Jesus, wink, wink, I just winked with both my eyes, y'all. Anyways, then so be it. But I swear to God, as y'all as my witness, if I end up dead, it's the damn church that did it. Okay? Just saying. Anyways. So, back to my uncle. And so, I remember, I said the C word. My mom was even cussing. I was like, oh, crap, I got to stop cussing. Because then, I'm like a bad influence on people. They start cussing. But I was angry. I threw a fit. I threw a tantrum like a little 5-year-old kid. I was pissed. Rightfully so. He was gentle. My Uncle Charles did not deserve this. None of them did. But today is about him. Today is about him. Now, what I'm about to tell you, I've kind of told in little bits and pieces. This is my experience. People are going to exploit anything and everything if that's where their intention is. So it is what it is. It's my truth, though. I remember telling my mom, I was like, y'all go. Y'all go. I was freaking out. I was like, go get y'all's ass to Arizona before she burns his ass. That's what I said. Too late. But come to find out, he wanted to be cremated. And I was like, well, I don't know. Mom, did you check that? Make sure it's not kitty litter or something? You never know with these hookers. Just saying. I don't trust them. Anyways. Then, so I was up at the shop Jason had taken the kids home, and I was there alone, and I needed that. I need reflection time. I need to be alone sometimes. When me and Jason met, he's the only mate that I've been with that allows me that time without having to worry, or you know what I mean. And I love that. And I thank him for that, because I get to reflect. I get to glean off of everything. I just kind of mull things over, and I'm creative, and that's just that's how I process things. Hey, Suze. Yeah, I think Trace on the case said, or Beach Bum, somebody said, it seems he did everything. Oh, I shouldn't drink Dr. Pepper because it makes me burp. It seems he did everything that Loho wanted him, like moving to the islands. I think she wanted him gone after they had to move back. Oh, I think before that, actually. It's like she needed a new toy. She already adopted a new baby. They tried to adopt Mandy's other baby. Okay. Thank God that adoption did not go through. I don't know why. I don't pry. I reminded Mama that when she was on the stand the first day, and I didn't understand, and I never have understood the whole whose idea was it to adopt JJ. You know what I mean? I've kind of heard, well, Kay and Larry couldn't take care of him, and I knew that was wrong. I was like, well, that's not right. It's not like he came out and he was like, had a label on him that says, hey, I'm autistic. That's not how it works. And then even if he did, you don't just say, yeah, no, I can't. Just put it back. Yeah, that's not how it works. Grandparents' love is, from my experience, I've had the best grandparents ever. And I think that's a blessing. One day, you too, KJ. It will come in his time. Me too. I think that we screw up our own kids and then we just do it right with our grandkids. That's the gist I get. Because I have a hella respect for my grandma. My mama Trahan. I have a lot of mamas and papas. I have a lot step parents. Those are bonus parents. Those are bonus everybody. It's just more people to love. More people to love you. It's so cool. I'm very blessed in that sense. Oh my God. Hold on. Sorry. Okay. Anyways, but it's so I remember telling Mom it was, I think they took a break. During that break, I was like, well, Mom, I was like, what about Tabitha? Because that's what Lori was going to name the little girl, which was JJ's half sister. It wasn't my brother's child, but it was Mandy's, child with another person. So it was JJ's half sister. So do you think there would have been 3 holes in the backyard? I mean, that just blows my mind. God works in mysterious ways, and things happen and things don't happen. And you just have to, I just trust things. I'm just like, if there's red lights all the way down, I'm just like, well, it is what it is. I'll get there when I get there. Yes, I remember her telling me it was going to be Tabitha. And I don't know. And Mom was like, oh, yeah, And so she went to tell Rob, and Rob was like, or you can't talk to each other. I didn't know that either. So, but they didn't talk. But, she was like, oh, yeah, I forgot. And I was like, oh, okay. I got it. It comes out in little spurts, but it's helpful. But, I mean, I'm just so glad that baby girl, Mandy's other baby, the drug mom's other baby. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, that's just shitty all the way around. But anyways, so Lori just needed a new toy. The newness was wearing off of JJ. He was getting too hard to handle for Lori. He was too much. And then he wasn't as cute. He didn't need her as much, really. And I'll never forget, my Uncle Charles came into town. He started coming into town a lot without Lori, and I never asked questions. I just enjoyed the moments. I was like, oh wow, okay, good. Let me go play with my nephew, right? Let me go talk to my uncle. So I just took advantage of those moments. I enjoyed them, and when I think back, I see so many things. That whole hindsight is 2020 thing. It is, and it's golden. And those are memories that nobody can take away from me. Nobody can take away from you. Nobody can destroy someone you love. The memories. Nobody. That's yours. So, I basically, I'm stutter stepping a lot, but I had the most profound, it was like the beginnings of the most spiritual experiences I've ever had. I was always raised to, and I mean, I didn't dabble. I didn't like, I just was going. I was living. I was just coping, dealing, grieving. But that trauma, from what I've researched, and had to kind of get the gist of it. I think this is kind of how it works. But when when something happens like that, and it just opens you up. I was hyper aware. Every sense, all my senses were turned on. I was hyper vigilant. It was overstimulating. It was so much, because I mean, that's just who I am. But then that jolt, that horrible news that your uncle was murdered, it opened me up. There's things that happened, that I used to ignore. I'm just like, I don't know what the hell that was. It scares me, whatever. That I didn't pay any mind to. I could not turn away. I couldn't turn away. And I don't know how to explain it. I can just tell you what I experienced. And they're profound. And they're a gift, and they're a blessing. And it helps me. It helps heal me. And so I say he, Uncle Charles, I felt him. I can't explain it. I don't know how. I don't know why. I don't know. I don't have the answers. I just know what I felt. I know what I experienced. And I know it was real to me. And I'm not crazy. I'm crazy fun, but I'm not crazy. And it was so intense, and I felt so helpless because I was at the shop by myself, and I mean, big metal building, and by myself. Jason left with the kids, and a storm came through. There's a strip club right there, so it was booming. And I mean, and then it started raining, and the bay doors are it's just making noise. It's a metal building, and I'm in there, and I'm just staring at everything, but I'm processing, and I just got this overwhelming, and I knew it was him. Like, it's just I don't know how. I don't know. I just knew. I know. And he said, and I say he said, it wasn't audible, but just I don't know. And he was like, I just want to tell you my side of the story. There's two sides of the story. And that just kept repeating over and over and over again. I just want to tell you my side of the story. And he was in a panic. He was in a panic. And it was so overwhelming. And I was just like, oh my God, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? I didn't know how to react. I didn't want to, I don't know. I've just been taught one way. And I've just never done that. But my soul just would not let me. It wouldn't let me. And I thought about it for a little while. I was like, oh my God, I can't turn my back on him. Like, I don't even know what I can do. Like, what is even going on? I always think back, like, if Mom and them would roll the cameras back, I bet I looked freaking crazy. And I wish I could see, because it was so, and it has been ever since. Real. I'm very much a part of what I do here, and what I do, what I research, why I made the vow that I did, to hold everybody accountable that has blood on their hands. My family's blood. Okay? And I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I don't have the answers. I just know that from that moment on, I had a buddy old pal. It was constant. I don't know. And so I just was so open, and I mean, I startled easily, and I still get like that. I was already a hypersensitive person, and I'm learning a lot about myself through this process, through my uncle's murder, and through Kylie and JJ's murders. Um, it's ripped every one of our lives apart. I mean, and then you just gotta try and like put shit back together, or put it back where you need it to go. I don't know. None of us have been the same, and not in a good way, not in a bad way, just in our own way. I've met you guys through all this, you know, it's through them. But, anyways, my uncle, the next real poignant or, big, it wasn't a dream. It wasn't a dream. I tell y'all it's a dream so that you'll believe, people believe dreams. If that helps, then yeah, it was a dream. I don't know how to explain it. I just know what I witnessed. I know what I saw. I know what was imprinted, whatever, a picture, and it was right when the kids' stories went public. So my daughter's birthday is the same as Joseph Smith's, his birthday, December 23rd. Cheers. My son's is the same as Milne Gibbs. Anyways, but it's a blessing and it's a curse, because what my uncle showed me was a gift. It was beautiful, but it's a message, and I don't know. It's like you're the vessel. It's God. You're the vessel. You just do. You just go until it gets wherever it needs to go. I don't know. I'm just winging it. But my uncle showed me basically this. And this picture came with this picture frame. So I had to buy it because it's exactly what I saw, except opposite sides. But JJ was also the age he was, not the age of this kid. That's not Uncle Charles. That's not JJ. But that's what I saw, except Uncle Charles was on the left, JJ was on my right, and Uncle Charles was looking down and to his right, and they were hand in hand. Their backs were to me. I could just see the side of Uncle Charles's face. I just saw the back of JJ's head in the water, and they were just kind of moving away. But my uncle was looking at JJ, and he was so in love. It's tangible. It gives me chills. It's powerful. But they found each other. That's what I got. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Kristen. So much. I appreciate that. It's just been hard. And so what do you do with that? This is December 20. My daughter's birthday was the 23rd. We went to Casa Manana. That's her favorite little restaurant here in town. And I remember the kids' stories just went public. That's when every one of you connected, heard about it. You're like, what the hell? And that's a whole nother layer to this thing. There's so many different layers before that, it was just us, you know, and so I remember that Mom and Larry got up all of a sudden, and they kind of looked like they darted out, you know, like they had some business to take care of. And I was just like, I'm nosy. Actually, I'm a researcher, whatever you want to call it. But, and I'm a smoker. So I went outside and smoked, and I see them out in their vehicle, and they got a microphone or, you know, a recording device. And I'm like, you know, I'm thinking, you know, I know Uncle Charles got murdered, and we don't know where the kids are. This is December 20th, 20-ish, somewhere around there, whenever the kids' stories broke. And so that picture, dream, whatever you want to call it, I got that a couple days before Christmas Eve. And I didn't know, how do you tell your parents that? I know I needed to tell my parents that. I just had to get it up. I had to tell them. And I was like, hey, I got to tell you something. I don't even know how do you how do you approach that? So I don't like surprises, good or bad. I don't do well. I know me, and I just don't do well with making decisions right on the spot or being put in, you know, and I'm just like, wait, what? It just kind of freaks me out. And my daughter's the same way. And like if somebody mails me a package, it will sit here for a couple days because I'm just like, I don't know, weird. And Jason and the boys are like, we'll open it. But I don't know. I treasure things too. You know, I'm methodical. I feel things out. But so it finally is Christmas Eve, and we're at Mom and Larry's, you know, the Hurricane House where KJ came and visited her and Mr. Wayne. And she put on one of my uncle's Letterman jackets, cherry pie no, from Barb, and one for McNeese. Anyways, so I like to sit on the floor. I sit with my legs crisscross applesauce. You know, that's my nature. I don't know. And so I was sitting on the floor. If y'all watched the Doomsday documentary, when Mom and them found out that the kids were unearthed from Chad Daybell's property, and Mom cried, and Larry was leaning over, and Ashlyn was right there. That's exactly where it was, you know, if you are a visual person. And so Larry's in his recliner, and Mom's right here on the couch, and I bought her a Dremel. And so I was doing her feet, you know, and what a Dremel tool. And you're right, Olive. No, Chris, oh, thank you. So appreciated. And so Larry, this is what you see. Y'all saw him when he walked into the courtroom or the courthouse with "We Will Rock You" with his big ass TV iPad. He's like this, but he's got big old hands. I got some little bitty hands. So, you know, it just looks like this to me. That's my phone. That's Larry. Anyways, and so Larry, I found that bus video, you know, in my Google photos or whatever, and I had ran across. I forgot about it. I had taken it in March of 2019. Mom had gone to Arizona to go help Uncle Charles move him to Houston. And that's whenever Melanie Gibb Lori walked in, and Melanie Gibb met my mom, kinda. Mom was in another room, and Lori came in, and she just slid into Uncle Charles's ass because she's an asshole. And she didn't cry. She was just being a witch. And she didn't know Mom was there. When she saw that Mom was there, she was like, "Oh, KK," which is my nickname, by the way. And she started crying. And my mom was like, "What?" You know? But my mom, I think she recorded that little whatever. I mean, I don't know. I've never heard it, and I don't need to. But It's just night and day and night. You're dealing with a freaking domestic terrorist who is enabled and empowered by Master Church, upper management, in my opinion. Anyways, and so I took I captured that moment of a JJ on the bus. It was right there by the office. And I don't know, Larry just, he does that. He tops every vehicle off. I don't care where you're at, would be whose vehicle it is, he's on top it off. Okay. It's just what he does. He'll cut your grass too. You wake up and you're like, oh, okay. But anyway, so he was going to take JJ to Houston to meet Mom and Charles when they got from Arizona to Houston, meet in the bus. It's a 56 passenger charter bus. And that video went viral, and I captured that. And I'm so happy that I did, because when I sent it to Larry, right there in their house, Christmas Eve, 2019, he got quiet. And so I'm just doing Mom's feet, and I'm like wondering when is a good time to tell them what Uncle Charles showed me or whatever, of him and JJ hand in hand. And he's just, they're together. Anyways, my kids are passing out, and JJ's shark pajamas, they were hanging up in the living room. And those shark pajamas are so part of the story. Whenever the Hurricane Laura came, and we evacuated to my Uncle Bobby's in Lafayette, I saw them. My mom brought the shark pajamas that was JJ's Christmas present that they never got to give him. And they were hanging in the closet, in the cabin guest house closet, during evacuation. And I don't know, stands out to me. And I'm sure they're still hanging. And that sucks. They always get all the kids pajamas. They look like Hugh Hefner. But you know what I mean? Just the slipper, everything, robes, and just the whole nines, Not that year, though. And I mean, he was found in pajamas. It's just so, everything makes a full circle. So Larry's quiet, and he goes, and just out of nowhere, he's sitting there, and he's just on his iPad, and he goes, I love this part right here. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And he's like, look, and he's showing me the bus video, and he's like, look right here in the window of the bus. You see JJ's reflection when I start singing. And he jumps up and down. He's so excited. And I mean, oh my God. that ripped your damn heart out, I didn't notice that, but he did. And my dad deserves that. JJ was very loved. Tylee was loved. We weren't blood related. It was a different dynamic. Doesn't mean I don't love her. I love her. I have come to know her through this, and I feel so bad for her. Nobody. She had nobody but JJ. JJ had nobody but her. And they had each other. That I can relate to. I look after my brother just like that. And Charles looked after my mom just like that. He loved my mom. My mom loved him. She fights with Uncle Bobby. Her and Uncle Bobby fight. But they love each other, siblings. But her and Uncle Charles were close. Jason's probably back there crying. Dry it up. No, but I'm coming to it. So finally, I was like, okay, I need to tell y'all. I need to tell y'all. Like, come on, I got to do Santa. We still got to go home and do Santa, right? My kids are passed out, on the sectional, and anyways, so, and that's hard to do. It's so hard to say, hey, I know, we can't get in touch with the kids, but here you go. Here's what I got. And I mean, take it, do what you will. I mean, it didn't mean, it could mean whatever. I don't know what it means. Just, I don't know where it goes. I'm just doing what my intuition's telling me to do. And so I tell him, I'm like, Uncle Charles showed me him and JJ hand in hand. And just like I said, JJ was to his right, Uncle Charles was to his left, and Uncle Charles was looking down at him, enamored. Just, oh my God. And they were hand in hand, and they were moving away. They weren't like walking, they weren't, I don't know how to explain it. And she kind of was quiet. She leaned back a little bit, and she said, did you sense anything? Any peace, or something like that? And I was like, I don't know. I haven't even thought about that. And so I remember kind of thinking about what I'd been shown or whatever. And I was like, oh no, it's peace. They found each other. They're together. And she was like, well, as long as they found each other, as long as he found his daddy, I'm okay with that. But what's even bigger than that is hope. Because no matter what messages or what dreams you have or whatever, you never stop looking. You never stop. We don't know how. When anybody's missing, I cannot imagine the hell that some families go through who never find this closure. Holy crap, that's a whole nother level of torture. And so I pray for them, and I love hearing all the stories about the DNA solving cold cases left and right. I'm like, all right, this is cool. This is so cool. So just, I don't know what the message is, but just that, and that's just some of them. That I'm being really light with them. I had one. This one is the most intense one I ever had. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know what it was. I don't know. Well, not what it was. I don't know, but I don't know. Just know what I experienced. I know what I know. I know. I mean, Jason was my sounding board, because I was like, people are gonna think I am nuts. And you just don't go. It's taken me 4 years to bring this to you. And I'm a little nervous. I'm not saying I'm a seer or a prophet or a revelator. I'm just one of God's children. That's all. I'm a vessel, just like you. And anyways, he uses us, I think. That's my opinion. I think he uses us to share messages. We cross paths. We don't have the same destinations. But what little time we are together, there's something to glean off of one another. That's that fiber. That's beautiful. It's not a web. It's woven in together. Right? It is. We never lost hope. We never stopped looking, because you don't stop looking until it's time, until it's in his time. Not when you want it. It's never when you want it. Never. But it comes in his time. Um, and I just have to have faith in that. I do. It helps me. But there's so many beautiful things that have come through this, because no matter what we do, no matter what we say, no matter what we learn, who we blame, who we point finger, whatever, however we grieve, however we deal with this, however this affects you, and you go on your trajectory to your destination, none of that brings them back. Nobody that, you've lost, nobody that I've lost, nobody that we've lost, we'll lose in the future, not even of ourselves. Like, that never comes back. Life before Charles being murdered, that's never coming back. And so you kind of grieve that too. Life before murder. And then, I don't know, it's just, the rest is history. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what it is. But this has been such a healing platform. This has been somewhere where I stuck my toe in the door and I was like, okay, hold on. Let me humanize these my family. These are not just true crime victims. It's my family. And so whenever everything goes away and all the interest dies down, I'm still going to be right here. I'm not going anywhere. This is life. I'm just kidding. I had to do something stupid. Okay. Sorry about that. But anywho, do you know if your mom will speak of Charles? I don't know if she can. I know that we get to slide a little bit of something that we say, and she'll read it. Don't tell nobody. You have to be smarter than the tool you're working with, though. I don't know if she can. You got to be worthy and stuff. I say worthy. I don't think that I've gone and looked up the victim. I don't know what you call it. You would know, KJ, the statute or whatever. 53. That's my favorite number, right? I downloaded it into Canva and researched into it, and I'm like, it's so the way Judge Boyce is defining it is weird. It's awful, but it's legal. But it's like one of them little loopholes, tricky. They don't want us to talk, I guess. Scared we might say something. I don't know. That's my best guess. I don't agree with it. Life goes on. Just got to be smarter than the tool you're working with. This has a way bigger impact. Yes, it's weekly, and or however many times we go live or get to visit with one another, but it's constant. And KJ taught me that, and I thank you so much. You woke me up to this, KJ. When KJ and Mr. Wayne came in from Tennessee to Louisiana, KJ told me, Kresha, you have a community. And I was like, what? I was oblivious. I was like, I was just like, oh, okay. A community. And I was just like, I didn't set out to form a community. You know what I'm saying? That's one of those things that just happened. I thought we were, and we are, but I just was going and not really realizing what was going on, what was rallying around me, what came out of the tragedies, Oh, hey, Heidi. Oh, good. I got my candle lit too. But yeah, thank you so much. It's good to see you. Yeah, thank you. Oh, love you. Appreciate it too. But so yeah, she's like, you have a community. You need to commit. You need to make a commitment. And I was just like, oh my God, she's right. And oh my God, this is like, oh my God. It was just like one of those little silver linings, but a really big one. And so I know I'm late, but I try to be here every week. I try to be a woman of my word. Hey, Natalie, God is good. God, God wins. Love wins. Yeah, that's the beautiful part about it, Beach Bum, is you get to pick and choose, right? Sometimes somebody tells you, hey, you have family members, you have a community, and then you're like, holy shit, I do. And then things become even more real, even more important, because I just want to, I want to be a woman of my word. I don't want to let anybody down either, myself included. You guys help me so much. This helps so much. I don't know what's going on with my damn throat. Okay. Sorry. It's like in my chest. But this is a good outlet. It sucks. The topic, the subject matter, and I got to say jurisdiction since Daryl Brooks, subject matter jurisdiction. Oh my God, that was a train wreck. But right, it's beautiful. And although we can't break nothing that happens, no sentence, no charges, no indictment, no death penalty, none of that brings them back. I'm not like, oh, okay, yeah, everything's good now. Like that's not at all real for me. That's not my reality. I will. Oh, that's so sweet. I'll tell her. Um, it just I don't know, just something bigger has been building up, and that's you guys and what we do, whatever it is that we're doing. I still don't know. I just it's blind faith. I know I'll get there, wherever there is, and I appreciate you just coming and tagging along and working through all my damn internet issues. Right, this is live stream number 2. Let me not jinx it, but anyways. I don't think there's closure. Yeah, I think you're right, Olive. I'm glad T.S. Jackson. I love seeing you guys. I always think, I'm like, oh, I wonder how such and such is doing. I wonder how. And then, you just kind of orbit around. Some people take a break, and I get that. I know me. Y'all know I always say that. And this is just, I'm whole ass. So I have to, when I get there, I know that my gut will say, okay, wow, it'll let off the throttle and I can relax a little bit. And I have somewhat. I've been able to, ever since Lori's trial was adjudicated, half-assed, almost, I've been able to work on some of the back stuff, like the internet issues, and Donna and Beach Bum and Trace on the Case have, we communicate and we get a lot of things done. I'm starting to learn how to share. I'm not one that knows how to ask for help. Like I can show you better than I can tell you, right? I don't know. It's just not a pride thing, but I'm not used to that. So that's been a whole nother learning curve. And you get burned, but that's okay. It just comes with the territory. But anyways, so the Chandler Police Department, and I have to look into the statutes or of limitations and yada yada yada. And then we had the whole Alistair Adele, or Adele Alistair. Y'all know I say things backwards. um, she 1,400 cases or something. I don't quote me. Allegedly, there was a bunch of cases that just kind of went away. They just kind of got overlooked back in 2019, right when Uncle Charles was murdered and when all the stuff happened to Brandon Boudreaux. Um, it's crazy. That's another thing that I've been working on, and we're gonna do. I don't care how long or how many, videos or whatever live streams we do it in, but I've never done it, and nobody really in my realm has really done it besides way on early in the cases. Um, but I've been putting kind of a timeline, I guess, together where we focus on only Brandon and Melanie Pulaski, and then just kind of add the Lori and Chad stuff because it's very relevant. They go hand in hand, but it's usually Lori and Chad have been the focus with Tylee and JJ, you know, and it's like I want to put the spotlight and focus on Melanie and Brandon and kind of an overview, top to bottom. I don't know. I don't really do this, but I figured it's worth a shot, And I mean, just thorough. We have all the evidence, photos. We have, or the vehicles. We have so many of the FOIA docs, the Gilbert docs. We have the 74-page FOIA docs from the computer tampering charge that Melanie did not. I don't know. I'm putting my bet out there. This is my guess. I don't know. I don't know. You know how whenever they were like, guilty, 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 guilty. Girl, you are guilty. Then they're like, bam. By the way, you're indicted. Caca, in Arizona. We just been hiding it, And so you're like, wait, what? I feel like, and I hope I'm right. I hope for once, I hope, this is one time I want to be right. I hope that this is where they nail Chad once he gets through his trial or pleads out, whatever. I hope, because there's no way he's in there like swimwear. You can't, no, 2 bullets in his chest. And something about with Brandon, even something about the bullet, being a couple inches higher or lower or whatever he said about, that was Chad that said about Brandon. And so, I hope so. I don't see how they can't, Miss T. I just feel like they're kind of biding their time. And it's kind of risky if you think about it. So I really don't know, but it disturbs me on so many levels. And I think that's the same vibe I get from you guys too, because we're like, how in the hell is that wench still living? If she's free, she's roaming, she can be around children, her own, that she dubbed allegedly dark. Okay. For drawing 3 crosses on the damn wall. Okay. Amen. That's all I'm saying. You might be in a cult. No. I don't know. So I'm like, oh my God. So it's either Melanie. This is just, I kind of had this with Jason, when I first came back from Boise. So I was like, oh my God. So you have either, if you let Melanice have her kids, you risk them being sacrificed. And then if, what was the other one? Or I don't know. I forget. I messed it up. But, either way, it's like they're bargaining with kids. That's, the gist I get. And I'm just like, if they let them go, like, let's say the FBI holds the kids and they're like, okay, here you go. What do? You watch her super close? I mean, what do you do? What is that? So it's either the FBI sacrificing children or it's Melanie allegedly sacrificing children. Either way, there's children sacrificed. Do y'all get it? I mean, or am I just, that was the point I was trying to make. I hope they do, Misty, though. It is possible. The cloud files revealed it. A damn cloud, it'll get you every time, right? I have trust issues with the damn cloud. So I have like 5 or 6 of them just to make sure. I think so too. I mean, he's like, I mean, he's in the thick of it. In the thick of it. He's Chatty Daddy is who he is. Chud the Spud Dud. I don't know. He's gross. He's guilty. That's all he's got to be in my book. um, that police, yes. And so I've checked with the Chandler Police Department after, like, just reading. I'm a nerd. I'm like Rain Man nerd, and so I like reading safety. Okay, I got my certified occupational safety specialist certificate with OSHA. That's boring to a lot of people. I'm like, I like reading owner's manuals and policy and procedure. Turns out, and so I go and I check, to see if the police department is making any changes as far as like domestic, especially for men. Bitches be crazy. Okay. Y'all know a lot of y'all are women. Y'all know we can be crazy. Okay. We have our little moments. I do. I am not ashamed. I should be, you know. It reminds me of that PMDD commercial where that lady was trying to pull the basket and she was like, I mean, we've all had those moments. I just go on to the next basket. But anyways, yeah, this has happened to my brother even. I've seen a girl one time hit herself in the face with soap in a sock. I was like, what the hell is she doing? My grandma owned some rental property, okay? And I was like, oh my God. And then they call the cops and then they believe that the cops believe the women, or it's just such a stigma. Nobody believed Uncle Charles. Nobody. And he took all the proper steps. He followed policy and procedure. He went to his bishop. And stake president. I don't understand that because it's so normal for them to be in the temple every day. They swipe them cards. They know. I'd be like, tone it down. So tone it. Y'all need to go back. Go home. Go in the parking lot and clean or something. You don't get to come in the temple. There's some more sinister stuff going on in there, in my opinion. Can I prove it? No. Can you? Let me know. Hit me on the hip. I don't know what that is. That's between them and their maker, I just know it's not good. So anyways, but there's times whenever I catch certain. Let me share my screen real quick. Let me hot dot. Oh, let me see it first. Oh yeah, okay, I saw that. Okay, you think so, Beach Bum? Who? Oh, the Rachel is the. Is that what you're talking about? The prosecutor. I did a little digging, but Trace is pretty versed on all that. We have some remote. What do you call them? Correspondence over there in Arizona. We have our Idaho, the Mormidor. Joking. It scares me though, because I'm like, oh my God, because I'm over here focused on Idaho, but then I'm kind of in my peripheral, there's Arizona, and I'm like, holy, Arizona looks pretty damn corrupt. And I'm like, but it's really heavy, influence over here, heavy. The church has a lot of stroke over here. It's got a lot of stroke in the whole world. So $100 billion. That's all I'm gonna say. that they hid, allegedly. Ask the SEC.gov. But I mean, that's just nuts. That's scary too. Oh wait, let me do this. So I want to show you a few things, and I have a lot of videos. Oh, and they save twice and 3 times sometimes. I don't know why. There's some of my feathers right there. Here, we'll listen to Uncle Charles and JJ with the ABCs. Let me mute myself.
A, B, C. Say your ABCs, JJ. Say your ABCs.
ABCs.
A, B, C, D.
A B C D E F G. A B C D E F G. A J J J B. Q R S T Q R S T U V W X Y and Z. No, I know I ABCs Max I will choose me.
Yay! Say hi, Mama. Hi, Papa. Say hi, Mama. Hi, Papa.
ABC.
Say hi, Mama, and hi, Papa.
Mama, hi, Papa.
Yes.
Sorry, I couldn't find my mute button. Hopefully I'm unmuted. Let me go check. Yeah. Okay, good. I love hearing Uncle Charles's voice. It's a very distinct. He does have a very distinct voice, and I miss it. You know, it's just very unique to him, and JJ too. JJ always kind of sounded to me like Sean Connery. I mean, in a little kid voice, though. You know, just he'd be like, "Hey," he would never would say Aunt Crusha. He would say, "Hey, Crusha," you know, and it was just cute because most kids they call me Kesha or KK because they can't say it. Um, my bonus kids, the Silas named me Mama K. You know, uh, it's pretty cool. My mom, when my son was born, she set out to be Grammy. Okay, she got a brick at the Millennium Park, and put to my first grandson, Zachary, Ryan. That's his middle name, and she said, "Love Grammy." And he's like, "Momo," they name you. You don't get to pick it. So I just think it's special. And see, these things, nobody, not even boys or no court system or nobody can take this away from us. We have these forever, these memories. So I need to remove that. Anyways, I'm going to try and, I don't know if Donna has anything pulled up. I know I'm just kind of panicking. That's all. That's what I do. It's been a tough road. I'll tell you that. I just passed over Jason's, when he had his thoracotomy, in March, when Lori was, transported or extradited from Hawaii to Idaho, my fiance was fighting for his life. He was in ICU and he had a thoracotomy, and my parents were in Idaho, and I was here, my 4 kids, and I was trying to just deal with everything, and I was so worn thin, and I needed my parents, and they weren't here because of Lori playing games and playing God. And I gotta show y'all this though. Let me show you. They're just some pictures that my daughter took of JJ that my mom, she's like, I can't believe she did that to him. She dressed him up like this. He looks like a hillbilly, but it's cute. You know, he's sitting in a wooden high chair. Oh, drinking a Coke. You know, this is, look, his fingernails are dirty. This is, the fun we have. He was all boy. And this is Ashlyn and JJ. She just had little shorts.
Oh, that was fake. Give me one. I can have a kiss. Oh, that was fake. Give me one. I can have a kiss.
Oh. Okay.
There they go. They're trained following each other.
I'm muted. Okay. Anyways, are the comments refreshing? Or is anybody commenting? Anyways, I don't know. I'm trying to think. Donna, do you have one pulled up?
I was thinking that we would show whenever Charles was trying to get the people to listen to him.
Yeah.
In
It's
Gilbert.
It's frustrating, but it's like he was trying to, I mean, even to the point of going, I would do it too. I'd have snatched your damn purse too. You know? I mean, like, come on, woman. I'm married to you, stole $35,000. That's a lot of money. Anyways, yeah, let's do it.
Okay. All right.
Thank you. I love her tinfoil hat. See the little brand thing she made up here for me in the corner? Okay, I'll shut up.
A friend of mine tried to pick me up. I went to the CSI Vallow report, which is the community bridges or something. Vallow report.
So you did the petition?
Yeah, they ordered a pickup.
Okay. What time did you do that?
Hour and a half ago.
Okay. So what makes her a danger to herself and to others?
She threatened me, murder me, kill me.
She threatened to murder you?
Yes. And she said,
how did she do that?
My bishop right there is in the car. He was on the phone with me today. She said, "I will have you destroyed." That's what she said there.
Okay, that's not a threat to kill you.
Yesterday was a threat to kill me.
Okay. What did she say yesterday?
She said, "You're not Charles. I don't know who you are, what you did with Charles, but I can murder you now with my powers."
Okay.
Okay. All right. Says I'm gonna kill you too. Yesterday was.
So she's speaking as a spiritual being.
She's not here. She lost her reality.
Is this just all recent or?
Cresha.
Yeah.
I was going to say, did you want to comment on some of the things that was said to him, or do we just?
I would never shut up. I would never shut up. I know that I kind of rip and roar, but that's what I do. I talk at my TV. I talk so I can. Yeah, definitely. I just don't know if it echoes. It shouldn't echo on my end if it's on your planet from your end. I don't think. Don't let me know if it echoes, and I'll stop.
Are we echoing?
I'm gonna mute you.
Okay, that's a good idea.
No, I don't know. We'll try it. I don't know how this works. I think though, Jean Marie, I think whenever he says I'm gonna kill you too, like I always took it as like she told me that too. You know, I don't know. All right, you gonna press play? Press play, please. Donna, I know F that bishop. Donna, you gotta push play. I think so too.
Has it been going on?
Been going on for about 4 or 5 years. It's gotten really, really bad lately. She goes to the temple every day to speak with Moroni, and they tell her what to do. And now she came here today, and last couple of days she's off.
What happened? All you gotta do is press K on your keyboard, and it'll pause it. If you hit your arrow keys forward and backward, it'll go back 5 seconds and forward 5 seconds. It's better than hitting and clicking. Hello? Donna. Okay, I have Chad's phone call. I'll play that until. Oh, never mind. No, I don't. Hold on. Hold your pearls. Let's see. So, and Jason was looking, he always, surfs Facebook and everything. And I don't have a chance to do all that as much as I used to do nothing but Facebook. And then YouTube came along, and it's a tool that I chose. But he told me that he said that Tammy Daybell's sister, Samantha, was going to be writing a book. And he was like, how does that make you feel? And I said, I'm perfectly fine with that. I don't know why. Some I'm okay with, some I'm not. I don't know. But I mean, it's just something I have to get over. It's nothing, Adam Cox is, I don't know. I'm just to each their own. God takes care of that for me. I have enough on my plate where I can't control anybody else. So what do? I don't get to tell another family member from that end how to grieve, but yes, I do believe there's some questions that need answering, because that's it. I don't like when people preach at me or talk at me. I cannot stand that. And that's the sense I get from them. It's just that they talk at me or talk at people. They preach at you. And I'm like, practice what you preach. And it's like a savior complex thing. I don't know. I'm scrolling through. Donna, where'd you go? I lost her in the portal. Oh,
I'm here. I'm back. I could thought it was playing twice, the video. That was weird. So
okay. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. If you can. Oh,
okay. You want me to
okay.
start?
I was gonna say no. Okay, I'm sorry. I've been scrolling through East Idaho News. I mean, I have these clips uploaded to my YouTube page, but it's just, I don't know, it's easier somehow to do it. I don't know. It's just kind of my go-to. But I have the this one pulled up. It's the one where her and Tylee and Melanie Gibb go to Gilbert Police Department, and they basically tell her how she's going to get away with getting out of her mandatory 72-hour hold. She couldn't be found out that she was a translated being. Can't have that. So it sucks. But I don't know. I wonder, would they ever unblur these? I doubt it.
Hello.
Good.
Hello.
You got enough chairs for everybody? Yeah, I think so.
No, I won't fit with those handles.
No? I was gonna file
This thing
a
makes
report, but
my
my
hips
friend who
rather
is a
wide.
police officer told me to file a report.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
he's like, it's just good to have it on record, so.
Yeah, okay. I got a little bit of info from dispatch. Said he stole your phone,
What
and
happened?
your purse. Yeah.
Nope. I don't know why it's not unmuting me. Okay, but just that right there. He stole your purse. He stole your phone. She has, I don't know, 3 at least. So which one? Then she has a whole nother one. She got a whole nother purse and a whole nother phone already. She is, and so it's just a whole nother level. This is like just gaslight city. You know, she's playing that part. She's playing the victim and the persecution complex, and it's so real, and so you can see it. You're just like, oh no. It's like ingrained, and I don't know, part of the indoctrination. I have no idea. It's just easy to point out now. Oh hush.
So yesterday, I got an argument with my husband on the phone, and he was in Texas working, and I found some stuff that he'd been doing, so he was really defensive. And so I took the kids. We spent the night in a hotel because I knew he was coming home. And so this morning, when I took my son to school, which he goes, when I went into the school to take him into school, he was waiting somewhere and like stole my purse out of the car, my whole purse. So my phone, my wallet, my money, my everything was in there. So I had the door locked, but the sunroof was open because we have a service dog. My whole purse. So my phone, my wallet, my money, my everything was in there. So I had the door locked, but the sunroof was open because we have a service dog and he was in the car, and my son was kind of throwing a fit. I didn't want to get them both out of the car because it was a mess this morning. And we didn't have any of our stuff because we spent the night in a hotel and he was out of his element. So I didn't lock the door for like the first time ever, and he whatever, either got it out. I don't remember if the door was locked. He got it out, or he reached through the sunroof and just got it.
Okay.
But then he started. Texting all my family and all my friends and impersonating me, and got my friend lured over to the house to meet him, where he had like kicked in the door to get into the house and stuff. So
You did that this morning.
last night.
Last night. Okay.
Which I'm glad we went there.
Right. Okay.
So I got there, I'm like, Lori? Where's Lori? But he texted her from my phone because he was pretending to be me, saying, "Oh, come meet me at the house," or whatever.
Okay.
So,
How did he? What did he say to you? Then?
he said, "Can you come to the house now?"
And then when
And
you
I
get,
was like, "Sure, yeah." And
okay.
I proceeded to act like he was himself.
Do you have the text messages on your phone?
I have it on my phone, but so when I got there, I said, "You've been using Lori's phone to connect with me." He goes, "Sorry, I deceived you." I said, "Oh, okay, yeah, you did." And luckily, there were some other people there that were. He's
So he
already
got-
got
he
the-
was changing the locks and probably got the door
locksmiths were
fixed
there.
where he kicked it in, so that
The
people
locksmiths
wouldn't
were
see
there,
it.
so I'm glad that they were there. But there was a white Suburban, which I don't know, it was up there. I don't know where he got that car, but anyway, there was a few vehicles, so I didn't know, who I suspected it would be her. I should have noticed that your car wasn't there, but I didn't notice that.
Okay, what kind of car do you drive?
An Infinity QX80.
Krisha? Krisha?
I was muted the whole time.
Well, only since the video stopped playing.
Oh man. Well, god dang it. It's I don't know why it's being like this. Usually I can just hit it right here, but I'm having to go back and forth between the screens. Sorry. But basically right there I was saying um that like she had an Infinity Q45. Lori was very much materialistic in the sense, I mean, she's the one that swiped the $35,000. She's the one that murdered people for, their life insurance. She's the one, with a baggie of cash, Tammy's blood money in Hawaii, hanging out of her purse. Um, she's the one flying every damn where, and flying everybody else everywhere. And, got to have an alibi, yo. And I mean, she's very much materialistic. So when Summer's like, that's Charles. And I know for a fact, this is how I kind of came across this. So whenever, a long time ago, like in 2008, there's this program and it's basically it's like, I actually started a business when I came back to Louisiana. I moved to Houston, Texas with my mom. It was my little kids, and my mom. And we moved into a big old 6,000 square foot house in Houston in Champions Park. And you basically stage it. Okay. You work with an interior decorator and they come and then you meet with the interior decorator and she comes in and the house it's for sale. And so you basically move in, you decorate it, you stage it. And so the realtor gives you a call about 2 hours. They give you hey, I'll be there in like 2 hours to show the house. And so you can't have any religious artifacts out. You can't have any personal pictures or things like that, but it's nice. It had 2 master bedrooms. Mine was upstairs balcony. And then we had an elevator. I couldn't find my kids. I was like, oh my God, I was using an intercom. This is my intercom. Caca, But I was like, it was just such a big house. And you pay the utilities, the maintenance, like the lawn care work, the lawn workers, oh my God, I cannot talk. Y'all know what I mean. The people that cut the grass, and that's it. You don't pay a mortgage. You don't pay for the actual house. And so that's how we got introduced to that program, is because Uncle Charles and Lori did that program too. So they might have lived in some big houses, but they weren't theirs. They just kind of staged, you know. It's a really cool thing, you know. So when I moved back to Louisiana, I started one called Show and Sell, but the Lake Charles is like 10 years behind Houston. And so I went and staged a house here. It was the first one I ever did for a contractor. It had been for sale for 2 years. I staged just the bottom floor. That's all he asked. I moved all that stuff in, and then it sold within the week. And I had to move everything back out. Granted, he was happy. He was like, here you go. Here's your check. And I was like, oh my God, you know, it's a lot of work, but I love doing it. And there wasn't just quite the demand yet. So anyways, I'm just saying that's how I got familiar with that program. Actually, the designer that came and just, you know, decorated our house in Houston, that first house, she I didn't even know this about myself. She was like, oh my God, you're so talented. Will you come work for me? And I was like, what? And I did. And so I would go and we decorate these multi-million-dollar high rises and just all kinds of things, you know, and I loved doing it. It was fun and I enjoyed it. And I didn't know that about myself. She showed me that. And hey, True Crumb Sushi, good to see you, girl. Oh, yeah. So basically, I think that's, I've been wanting to kind of say that. I think I said it before, but I didn't explain it really well like I did just now. But it's a pretty cool little program. Anyways, let me go back over there and turn this hooker back on.
So you got to the house, and then you got there. He said, "Yeah, I deceived you." And then,
Yeah,
what
so I
was he
said,
calling
"Where's
you there for?
Lori?" He wanted me to come over there and get some information about her, pretty much.
Oh, okay. What did he ask you?
He was asking like what's got into her, like
Where is she?
Where is she? Of course, I
Phoebe.
didn't say where she. I didn't know where she was. She didn't actually.
I didn't tell anybody.
She didn't
I
tell me
her out
she
because I just thought it was safer for everybody. To
Yeah,
know.
just basically.
That, oh,
wanted me to take his
I
side.
just, oh, I gotta, hold on. I gotta go back over there. So she just said it's safer if nobody knows. That's a pattern. I didn't pick that up before. I haven't watched this in a while. She says it right here.
I didn't know where she was. She didn't actually.
I didn't tell anybody.
She didn't
I
tell me
her out because I just thought it was safer for everybody. To
Yeah,
know.
she
Bam.
just basically wanted me to take his side. I think. So,
Demon in the corner.
Told her how crazy I was.
Mm-hmm.
Like that.
What was your name?
No,
He's like,
Your last name?
GIBD.
Warwick. It's Phoebe.
Just because for documentation later. What's your date of birth?
666.
So easy.
January 1st. Is her
So okay, so he had you come there. I was asking you questions. So, like, is this something that's happened before, or is this like?
Unfortunately, yeah.
Okay, so
Even
then-
go to hotels just to like calm us down or something.
Well, you're lucky I'm not a man
What
and I
is it,
wouldn't,
like,
you know,
that
'cause I'd have probably
motivates
smacked the shit out of
him
him.
doing this kind of stuff? Is it? Does he say why? Just goes
This
nuts
time I
sometimes.
caught him cheating and I had evidence and I told him about it. And he travels a lot for business, so I told him about it and told him not to come home and that
hate
his
this
stuff would be
part.
gone and that his car would be gone. And I was so he's a
Well,
little mad.
your life is gone because you ruined it. It's gone. Your kids are
So I
gone.
just left with
Your
the
husband's
kids 'cause I didn't
gone.
want them in all the drama.
And you're
And
gone.
then
So
you
the
took your
drama's gone.
phone and purse, and has he tried to make contact with you since?
He's trying to contact me through her. He has
Through
my
her?
phone. I don't have a way to be
Okay.
contacted.
Yeah, and I didn't
I wasn't
know her.
tripping.
I didn't know her. I couldn't contact her.
Nobody
So
could
why would
contact
she
me.
call
I just went and bought a phone so I could have a phone.
Oh, you were gonna buy one anyways, girl.
Have you
You
called
just
them to ask
sped up
them
the
if
process.
you'd bring your stuff back?
Well, he talked to her about it, so.
And what was,
Yeah, I said, would you be willing to give me the purse for Lori? You know,
Me, 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 me.
and he goes, no, unless she does this, you know, and all these.
don't speak in generalities.
Right, get
I
her.
want
Sorry.
specifics.
He wants me
What
to
did
meet
he
him
say?
at therapy today.
So
Shut up.
we're supposed to meet him
Okay.
at therapy.
But he wasn't gonna give you the purse, he just is saying he'd give it to me if I meet him there.
Okay.
Right.
I don't really want to talk to him today. If I don't
He don't want to talk to you
Okay.
either.
Yeah.
So if we have him bring the purse back, are we all good?
No, he's never good.
You're not willing to meet with
No.
him with a therapist or anything
Well,
to try to get it back?
I don't want to meet with him because I don't know. He's very sneaky. So like, what he'll do is meet me in the parking lot and mess around with
And
me.
steal your
you know,
purple.
whatever. Like he's not gonna just.
What if we
let
called
me
him
walk
and
into therapy,
see if he'll
but-
come here and we can facilitate him giving your purse back?
How do you?
I know he has it because.
Oh hell!
Obviously, he's texting
Yeah,
her.
Texting all my
Yeah.
and all my family and the kids too.
Yeah, he definitely has her phone. So we know it was him that took the purse because he.
What's he texting you?
I have the text. He was basically just texting me.
He's acting like that my son was in danger. I was worried about JJ's
Okay.
safety and things, and texting her like he's gonna.
So
Like you're gonna
my
kill him?
friends texted me,
Oh, damn!
"Hey today, hey girl,
He
are
was
you
on.
sick? Please
Yeah, that's messed up.
your mom. I may not be home for a bit. Love you." Sent me a strange link to a website about our church.
Oh,
That
I wish I had that
yeah.
link.
Said this is what's happening, and then he texted me at almost midnight. I'm so sorry, but I have no choice. I'm just sick. Danger. I had no choice.
I mean, it is a bit dramatic, but it's kind of
Didn't file
drama.
a police report
It
or
is.
anything as far
You
as
know,
we
I'd be
I'm
dramatic
just
too.
assuming he was trying to get a response, and then I love you. He was,
Police report about what?
or I don't know.
No,
but
thank
he
you, True
was
Crime.
acting like he did something.
And then those text messages came from. Do you have it entered as mom's phone or?
No, that was from him.
That's before
That was
he
from
didn't.
his
That's before
phone.
He didn't
he,
take the
yeah.
purse until,
Thank
like,
you.
This was last night.
Yes, that was from his
Okay.
phone.
And he was sending word for word the same text to my cousin, like
Copy paste.
What's his name?
Charles.
What's his phone?
It's Ned. They don't know. Poor Tylee. 78, Heidi.
Yeah, the same last name as you, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Still.
So my friend told me, my friend that's a police officer, he said, go file a report, file a restraining order, all that stuff. I don't want to do all that stuff. I just wanted to.
Mhm.
And if you can get the purse back, that'd be lovely because all my stuff's in there. Really
My lip gloss was in there.
From
All
how credit
the stuff
cards.
goes in. Well, he has all the cards and all the
Yeah.
stuff. So he's back. So I took the money out of our account, but it's a joint account. So he wants me to give him money.
Okay, well, that's all
Because
civil
it's his
issues.
money.
That's insane.
He got a
Purse,
PCA.
there's no reason why he's walking around with your purse, your ID. That he doesn't have a right.
Because he pays for it.
Married or
That's what I'm
not
saying. All the
married.
rest
He's a
of the stuff is
prostitute.
our joint stuff together.
Yeah.
Just saying.
All right.
Yeah.
We're gonna leave
Yes.
the room temporarily. We're gonna try to give him a call. See if we can
Domestic
get
terrorist.
this rectified.
Thank you.
All right. You're welcome.
I'm trying to think of the word. You don't. I forget. You don't. You can't negotiate with a terrorist. That's what I've been trying to think of. But you can't. You cannot negotiate with a terrorist, and that's what she is. She is a terrorist. And I mean, she did it to Joe. Oh my God. You know. That parental alienation thing is bullshit. I've had it happen to me. It sucks. It hurts the kids. It hurt my daughter that I didn't even have with my husband, my first husband, you know? It's just like, oh my God. It's bad. If you have to pit your kids against the other parent, something is wrong with you. Bad. And just check it, you know, because it's bad. Nothing good comes from that. And their kids are not pawns. People are not pawns. That's gross.
All right. We'll go back here. Your cell phone. You want to try calling, or you want me to call?
I don't know. This one's a little confusing for me, honestly.
I love these calls.
Oh yeah, I would actually love.
Mm-hmm. Quit playing on Facebook. That's what they're doing. Quit looking at his phone.
Charles. Hi, this is Officer Edgerton, Gilbert PD. Is this Charles? Hey, Charles. The reason why I'm calling right now is your wife's at the police department claiming you stole her purse and her cell phone.
You can hear them if you have earbuds in.
Okay, you realize they don't belong to you, correct? Okay, so that's a civil issue, and she's responsible for every penny when if you guys end up going through divorce proceeding.
Not yet.
Okay, and you also texted a friend to meet you at the house last night under the guise that you were her.
Yeah, kind of like they
What was
claim
that
they're the
for?
guys of Jesus Christ.
So you texted a friend of hers to meet you at the house last night using her cell phone. What was that all about?
He pays for them.
Oh, this morning?
He's trying to get her damn attention.
Okay.
Not that I know of, Janet.
Yeah, we read the report from earlier today regarding you not being able to get into the house and everything. So I do not have the order in front of me, so I cannot.
I'm coming
do that.
back.
It's got to be approved, and I know I cannot get her. Well, it's got to go to our sergeant, who's got to call, verify that it's good, and then we get dispatched.
But, well, not before he's going to tell her how to evade it. You know, she's just like, oh my God, how does he even do that? You know, stupid. She's stupid. She's not very smart. She uses her body. That's all she has. She's a hooker.
So that's just how the process works. And I can't keep somebody against their will without a warrant or the valid. Well, I'm telling you right now, we have a process. You come here, you turn it in, it goes to a sergeant. Sergeant calls the doctor. Okay, well, I don't have that, and for all we know, it's not valid anymore. I do not know.
How you know it is valid?
What I'm concerned about
is a freaking psychopath sitting right there.
Yeah, well, that's not what I'm discussing a whole separate issue right
You're
now.
dark.
And that's her getting her belongings back. Okay, you're saying it's at the house, which you changed the locks on, correct?
With your
so she doesn't have access to.
With your popos. Call the popo ho.
Yes.
Medea.
So unless you want to be charged with theft, we need to get that purse back
Take
to her.
that charge.
If you want to come here with the purse and that order, we can get this all try to figure it out.
Sometimes it's
And the
worth
purse
getting a charge.
and her cell phone. Okay. So how soon can you be here? We're at the police department, 75 East Civic Center Drive, Gilbert and Warner. Thank you. All right, how long?
Hurry up and go tell her how to ride her broom out of there.
All right, but he says he's coming with the order.
So that should get interesting.
Yeah, it is.
Really.
I don't even know. So, all right. I guess this could, yeah.
Dude's scared to talk on the body camera. He's like, yeah.
All right.
Y'all doing sign language?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wink, wink. Melanie's wearing their favorite color, green. Yeah, I'd have taken all the air miles, or, whatever they're called, airline, and the rental car miles.
And when I talked to him,
they didn't impound one vehicle.
He was all upset, wondering what are we going to do about that. I have until it is verified by my sergeant that it's still active,
Candace.
They still want you. I can't hold you against your will.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's verified by my sergeant, which she says could take a little while, that
let's count those.
If it is verified, then
let's count how many times.
Oh
shit!
Sorry. I can't hold you.
All right, let's count how many times in just this one little area that he's like, here you go. Here you go.
Until it is verified by my sergeant that it's still active, they still want
go back.
you. When I talked to him, he was all upset, wondering what are we going to do about that. I have until it is verified by my sergeant that it's still active, they still want you.
That's one, in my opinion.
I can't hold you against your will.
That's two.
But if it's verified by my sergeant, which she says could take a little while,
That's 3.
Then if it is verified, then I have to take you to Community Bridges.
That's 4 because he's like, this is the consequence if you're not picking up on my on what I'm putting down.
It's a mental health behavior place.
That's 5.
But while it's being verified, I have no right to keep you.
Again, number 6.
So he's supposedly en route with your purse and your phone.
He's on his way.
And then the order also, which needs to be verified by my sergeant.
8.
So we will facilitate the transfer of the person and the phone. And while we go give the mental health petition to my sergeant,
9.
She's verifying it. You do whatever you feel you need to do.
10.
How we're going to get that to go away, I do not know. You may need to contact.
That's 10 and a half.
Probably contact Community Bridges. That's CBI. Community Bridges. We have one. I don't know if you even want to just go up there. At Mesa Drive and Baseline. It's off Javelina, which is the street before you get to the freeway. If you're going north towards the freeway.
You sure knows a lot about it.
Do to prove yourself, because what it is committal paperwork.
Right.
They can hold you for 24, 48, however long they deem it necessary to get you evaluated,
Right.
based off just what your husband said.
Says.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So doctors play it safe.
Yes,
I just think it's funny.
effing funny.
Just let him
Right.
explain.
So
Because I'm really the one that did something wrong.
I hope we
but
all laugh.
here's the thing. I don't know, and I'm not going to take sides.
Right, no,
But
You already
just
did.
talking to you, I mean, I don't see you being a danger to yourself or anybody.
Right there. I want to go sit in a room with that cop and be like, do you hear yourself? What do you have to say?
Wrong.
But no, here's the thing: is I don't know, and I'm not going to take sides.
Right, no,
but
I
just
don't
talking to you, I mean, I don't see you being a danger to yourself or anybody else. You get your kids to school.
Right.
One. The other one, she drug to the freaking police station. Who's calming her down?
I don't know, but I'm not going to play side. I'm just going to let you know that we are required, if you're here,
11.
that we will, even against with force if we have to.
Right.
If you're still here when it's approved,
13.
we'll have to take you to CBI.
What is it called? I'm just gonna write it down.
Community Bridges.
Okay.
That's where we take you. Now, I don't know who he went through to get the order taken care of.
Does it matter?
That's what I'm saying. How do you even get that? He got that in the middle.
Don't worry about it.
How do you get something in the middle of the night?
It's family
conjure it
members
up.
can do it for other ones who have like drug dependency or not getting help.
Uh-huh.
Mental health
Yeah, but how would he get? He had to
issues.
come here. Isn't stuff closed?
It's not here. There are places you can go. So
How would you think of something?
I don't know.
You're just mad because you didn't think of it first.
So
Mm-mm. I don't know how this cop sleeps.
Oh, community bridges. Is that what you
Yeah.
said? I'm just gonna write it down.
so I'm
But
going
they'll be
to.
looking for me. That's the whole thing. Like,
They're looking for you, but
We don't bust
Fine.
down doors to get you,
Yeah.
but we will knock. So if you see police officers knocking, talk to them through the door.
that's a big one right there. You know, that's like a, hey girl, this is exactly how you do not face it, what. Oh my God. And he don't know her. He don't know her.
If you see police officers knocking, talk to them
We're at
through
14?
the door if you really don't want them. If you want a free medical evaluation,
I was
psychological
gonna say I haven't
evaluation,
gotten any sleep in about 3 days.
Obviously.
they do actually, from what I understand.
What did that
Um,
Gym where I could work out.
yeah,
You're
so-
happy.
Like I said, we
You'll be okay
Off-
without your mama.
You are going to get a padded room.
Oh my God. Right, baby girl?
so
Right.
officers don't kick down doors to serve they're civil orders.
should.
They're for your safety. It's not illegal. If it was because you're a danger to yourself,
She
it's
is.
not illegal, or it's not illegal to kill yourself. So we don't go busting down doors.
Right,
But if we make contact with you, there's nothing separating us. At that point,
You can
we
just
know
say
it's
anything
you.
you want about someone and get a mental health order.
Not so if it's a family member, and depending on what he told the doctors, they may usually they'll do it just to be safe. Otherwise,
So
say
you can
something
say they're
happens to
suicidal or
you,
something and
right?
get it.
So something
No,
happens,
let it
you
be.
do something to yourself.
Don't need to
He's going
sleep.
to go after those doctors.
Like
I
Natalie
told
said.
you didn't sign the order. She should have gotten help. That sort of thing. So
Do
there
you
becomes
know-
some liability.
Do you know what he said? No.
Poor baby.
1 Frank 17.
She shouldn't even be having to worry about that. You know?
10:50.
I don't know. I don't know right off the top of my head, but it's on the report. You know? So
Edgar 206.
I don't know what to even do. Like, I don't know. I don't even know how you
Yeah,
go
I was
with this.
talking to someone. That's why I didn't answer.
We haven't been able to focus on this part yet, you know? So it's like, okay, now Arizona. Now eyes on you, Arizona.
Yeah, we're aware. Let me step out. I'll talk to you. All right. Excuse me for a second.
Yeah.
I will come with you.
Yeah, please. I'd be like, please, I'm going. I wouldn't even ask.
Okay.
I'm
Got
going.
any knock jokes?
He dances really nice.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Feel like a little performance.
Here we go.
Show us
Okay.
your equipment. How
They are, aren't they? I mean, yes, Ava, yes.
Yeah, are you?
In my opinion,
Moving on with life.
You really want to be a police officer?
Maybe. You never know.
We'll look forward to this stuff, man.
yeah.
I'm actually pretty new myself, so I just got on. It's like my first
We can
month on
tell.
training after out of the academy, so that's why he's doing a lot of the talking.
Yeah.
That's the best way to learn.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, so it's because, like, honestly, this is kind of a more unique call than what I've seen. It's
Is
a little
it?
bit different. I mean, like,
Good.
well, and what's unique about it is
You're crazy.
either the theft or the petition was usually a separate deal. I mean, the fact that all of a sudden he stole your phone and then all of a sudden there's a petition out there too, it's like, we don't book
I
both.
say this.
So I've seen one or the other. I haven't
Like,
seen
shut
both
up.
of them.
Well, that's what he was saying.
Jason's like, what? And I'm like, I'm talking to the TV.
Yeah, that's probably what I
Like,
meant.
he literally hadn't seen JJ
Mhm.
for like 6 hours and he'd been at school, so it's not like
Well, he was out of town.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, it's a good thing you did come in because it will be a very one-sided story. So it's always good to kind of see what's going on.
What was
You
really
have
cool
to tell
because
my
I was,
lover.
so I was sitting there,
Moroni, you mean?
coming out of her neighborhood after he conned me to go to the house, and I
Conned her.
you know, like that.
Conned her.
And then I see this guy that I know, like, just like,
Our good friend.
just
police
like
officer.
right in
She said he conned me.
After he conned me to go to the house, and I pulled over, you know, by that full. And then I see this guy that I know, like, just like,
Our good friend.
just
police
like
officer.
right in front of me on the side of the road.
Oh.
I'm like,
Oh, wow.
that looks like Jason. I'm like, hold on, that's Jason. He's a police guy. I'm gonna go. So I'm like, Jason, what are you doing over here? He goes, I was just going to get some beer.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, hey, I just want to tell you what's going on. He goes, yeah, go down to the police office now. I'm like, okay.
I mean, I was
That's
gonna
great.
do it after he took it, and I realized it was gone when I got back to the car. I was like, he's lurking around here, like that's creepy.
Lurking.
Yeah.
Two,
They are
like,
so bad.
it's everything I have. Like I don't have anything. I don't have money. I don't have ID. I don't have anything.
You should have $35,000 damn dollars.
Yeah, but I
Control
carried
yourself.
them in my hand. I just had them in my hand. I was dealing with JJ. He was like, he
Yeah.
didn't want to go to school. He was like throwing a fit on the ground.
They don't like you.
Yeah.
So it was a rough morning as it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good man. So do you guys have separate cars?
You can censor a bitch.
What car does he drive?
So he has a Ford F-150 truck.
Oh, okay. So then the white Suburban, you had no idea what that
Hit
was.
his truck.
That was his buddy's car, he said.
He
His
said it was
buddy's
his
car.
buddy.
He don't have any friends.
But he
Remember?
He doesn't have anybody, so it was a white,
See?
It was
Buddy's
his
car.
buddy's car.
but
He doesn't have any
he doesn't
buddies.
have anybody. So
They're
it was
assholes.
a white Suburban. I didn't know because it was two.
I would think it
guys
would
in
be
the
a rental
driveway, but then
car.
when I came back,
They're
it was
acting dumb.
gone, and I know it was his car because the other, you know, the guys fixed
Right.
the locks.
We're
and
still
the
there.
cars were still there, so I know it was that one. 'Cause
Oh.
of that.
That's really strange. So what kind of questions?
He changed the lock on me. I'm on the lease as well, the house.
Yeah, I don't think so. Honestly, I have to obviously confirm with him, but to be honest with you, you should be able to have access to it as well if it's your
Yeah,
house.
so he's
Wiggle
changed
Wiggle your
probably
nose.
changed probably by now.
Yeah, he's trying to lock me out.
Tinkle, 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 tinkle.
Because whatever.
Yeah, I assume it would just be because how we were saying you need to be able to, or he needs to be able to get in the house. It should be the same.
Right,
So
so I'm kicking the door down.
yeah, I don't know.
The door down, too.
It should be the same.
Right,
So
so I'm kicking the door down.
yeah,
I
I don't know. I think
After
so.
it gets fixed.
Yeah.
The
I
gas.
don't want
Yeah.
to be in there if he said that. That's the whole point. So I left.
No,
Yeah.
it was creepy.
Shut up.
Where's Lori? You know, I thought, yeah, it's so creepy.
Uh,
I'm so glad those two.
Her brother-in-law talks so much
Yeah,
trash
I
on
know.
her.
You weren't just by yourself with him.
Brendan's brother.
I should have, like, I just better coached him.
Talk up. Act like
Yeah, I mean, who really
You're
is?
just being a good friend to me, so I appreciate you. I'm sorry that you're caught up in it. And he's catching up everybody in it. He calls everybody on my phone tonight. His phone access to all my friends.
You got your boyfriend's
Calling
number.
them all the phone, how crazy I am. And
Boom, I got your boyfriend.
Wow.
Just kidding.
And this is just a recent thing? Has he done this before, or like?
This is in like 24 hours. Like, or he's done stuff
Like, has he done this
before?
before? Yeah.
But this
I wonder
whole
if
situation
he does it,
happened.
No.
projects it. You know, I never thought about that. Never thought about that before. You know how she's doing it right now, and so it's causing the chaos because she's a domestic terrorist, and so she's unhappy with herself, and so she projects all her ugliness, everything that she does, and she projects it on everybody else. She pits everybody against each other. I think I really do. I've always thought that, and it's really apparent. But you know, I wonder if the times before, you know, when they say that Charles nutted up or whatever, then I wonder if it's because, you know, it's provoked and then turned around and projected, and you know,
Probably 3 or 4 times that I can remember.
13 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
So really just a stand-up guy overall.
that says a lot.
Hey, I'm not making any judgments. But,
I know you guys be neutral.
What'd you say?
hey, I'm not making any judgments. But,
I know you guys be neutral.
I don't know what to.
okay, so they got him in there, and they got you. Perfect. I'll just get. Well, I already got your information, so I'm good though.
She sucks anyways.
So basically, how do you even know to get a mental health thing? I don't even know how.
Because you're mental.
Is that your daughter's phone? I'm assuming.
No, it's my mom's
Homicidal.
broken phone.
Oh,
I
you
put a
were
SIM
using her
card
phone?
in. I went and
Okay.
bought a SIM card today and put it in so I would
Okay.
have
Aw.
something.
Yeah, no, yeah, you can't go without a phone
You
now.
just
No.
can't.
Yeah, is there any phone for you?
She got to text her boo.
Probably. Yeah, I probably would need. I don't have phone numbers. I have my mom's old phone numbers. The family members, but not any of my friends. Yeah, we're gonna have to put Jason and.
You have to go in the portal closet.
So were you there with them when this was going on? Were you were there in the car or no?
No, she was at the hotel.
Yeah.
Oh, you're.
He knows.
Give me your info. What's your
He's
first and last
looking
name?
at Tylee and asking, like, it seems like he's directing them at her because she's the most adult person in that room. She's the most level-headed.
A different last name?
Yeah, so he's my stepdad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right
So
on.
she was 3.
Okay. And then do you live at the house full time
Mhm.
with them? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. What's your date of birth? Cool. Yeah, because this one we entered and I'll need that info. So no big deal there. But yeah, so I guess we'll see what they say. But as long as you, I mean, well, yeah, it takes us a while to verify the order, so that's kind of like, yeah, so as long as the order's not verified, we can't serve it.
Bam. That's another time.
Verify the order, so that's. Well, yeah, it takes us a while to verify the order, so that's kind of like, yeah, so as long as the order's not verified, we can't serve it.
Bam.
And is he over? He'll be here too, or?
You need to go in there too.
Go out without him seeing.
Yeah, well, I think we'll probably facilitate it, so, I mean, either way, yeah. I'm not sure exactly.
Taking everything and pouring out of there.
And in the scenario
Just
that
give me the first.
she,
Yeah, adult.
in the scenario that she has to go with like my little brother, would he be like ordered to pick him up from school and take him? Like,
Who
there's no court order, but like I know, yeah.
Are you saying is Charles?
She knows way too much about adult stuff. Is there a court order? You know, oh my God, I never picked that up before.
Who
There's no court order, but like I know, yeah.
Are you saying is Charles supposed to pick him up? Or are you saying can you guys pick him up?
Yeah, that's basically what I'm saying.
Like who's gonna pick him up?
Could I pick him up and take him back to like the hotel?
Oh yeah, I don't think that even matters. Yeah. Whatever you guys got to work out. I think. I don't know what you're planning on doing about. So, because you're kind of saying you only want like a report, but is this gonna be like an ongoing thing? Like, is this like are you concerned about getting back in the house? Like, what's the game plan now? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Now we are that we know he changed all the laws.
Yeah.
So,
Victim.
Yeah.
2 days ago, he was like, people need to leave Vallow, and he was all real.
Oh my God. Ah. Pumping up our ego.
So this all stems from him cheating and you finding out about it?
From her being a bitch.
Yeah. Well, I think everyone's kind of learning a little bit on this one, so I can't even tell you what I think is going to happen.
Yeah.
We'll see.
It's just a sad scenario.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Mm-hmm.
What school do you go to?
She graduated.
You just graduated.
She's got
You
her
got your GED.
Yeah.
Also, what are you going to do now? Because
Great
you got a few years
question.
before you be a police officer.
Yeah, I might start community college classes and then eventually transfer over to a university. But
She's working that. She's working. Right
yeah,
now.
and I'm working.
Oh, okay.
Definitely no BYU in there. You know? Lori is such a freaking liar. Manipulator. Conniving.
Where at? Oh, nice.
Yep.
Good. As long as you're good at talking to people, that's pretty much a lot of the job, seems like.
This is actually good experience.
Shut up, Melanie.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Not chasing people down and beating them up. And
There's a little bit of that. Not as much in Gilbert, I don't think.
That's just what your cop friend, J-Mal, tells you he did. And his damn, what do you call him? I always call him flanks because I can't ever remember what fell off of his leg. I can't ever remember the part of the body that he said fell off.
I mean, I haven't done too much of that
not as
lately.
much as like in Phoenix.
Hamstrings? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, our friend was downtown Phoenix police officer.
Allegedly.
Talks a lot of those stories.
So your buddy Jason, you're saying,
Jason
because he's
now.
Phoenix? That's what I was going to ask.
By the way, y'all know how I told y'all about Galactic Storyteller? Come to find out that she didn't know right away. Like, she didn't know about, Lori. She kind of, anyway, she told me that not till it went to trial. She didn't really know till it went to trial when she heard Jason Mal's name, and that's her cousin. I'm like, oh. So I still got a schedule to do an interview with her. You know, she had her dad. She had to spend 5 hours in the desert looking for her dad, but poor thing. Anyways, so I'm looking forward to, getting to speak to her. She sounds really knowledgeable about, she's knowledgeable in Mormonism, period. But it would be nice to find out more about Jason,
Yeah, he had an incredible case where he was taking that guy down, his hamstrings pulled off his legs.
We can't hear you.
And he was completely taken down.
His hamstrings or the guy he was taking down?
No, his
Oh.
It's a lie.
He can no longer perform as a police officer because
Wow.
it took his
He probably pulled a muscle.
Wow. How long was he on?
He was on his bed for 3 years.
It took him 3 years.
Oh.
I remember my first beer.
His story is really incredible.
Yeah, it's incredible. So it took him 3 years to walk again. But
Yeah.
the police department said it was a pre-existing condition.
Pre-existing.
Yeah, sorry.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So now
How do you walk into a fight? You're sitting there in your police car.
Oh,
and
she
it's
got
a
loud.
cold summer
She
hot
testified.
summer day to go chase this bad guy. And then
Yeah.
you don't go to work with these not attached.
he couldn't.
That's
So he's
stupid.
actually been supporting police officers and helping them because they haven't been getting their rights.
Nice.
He's for the police guys.
Oh, he's in bed.
He has a whole organization.
Right?
So he's actually been supporting police officers and helping them because they haven't been getting their rights.
Nice.
He's for the police guys now. He has a whole organization.
Pistols is what it's called.
They're
Yeah.
amazing.
Someone's dilemma we're in it.
He does.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
trying to remember.
But
what
he's
the
now retired
acronym-
from.
Retired. He was suing them. They're so full of bullshit. Oop, that scared the shit out of me. Sorry, I'm cussing. We're almost done, y'all.
Hello, this is Gabe. Hey, Gabe, this is Scott Gauss with the Gilbert Police Department. How are you?
Right. I have pictures of Gabe and Jason, and they're in the Arizona state capitol shaking hands with a dude. Mm-hmm.
Hey, good. How are you?
Hey, the reason for my call, I'll just get right to the point. You're listed as a witness on a petition for an involuntary committal of a lorry on a. Hey, the reason for my call, I'll just get right to the point. You're listed as a witness on a petition for an involuntary committal.
Involuntary.
Point. You're listed as a witness on a petition for an involuntary committal of a Lori Vallow.
Yes.
What can you tell me about? I'm just kind of doing a little bit of follow up on this paperwork, and I was hoping you could just kind of enlighten me, because these things are handwritten, so sometimes they don't necessarily encapsulate everything that you could tell me.
Well, I'm going to dumb it down a great deal and deflect, deny, and omit.
Yeah, it's a tough situation. I'll bring up to speed as best I know here, but his wife, she had been getting into some religious things that troubled him. The relationship was a bit odd in the last few months.
And in order for her to get into the temple, for this, what I think is a second anointing take place in the temple, and that's how they allegedly practice polygamy in secret in front of our face, actually. And Gabe would have to know, and so would the stake president. That's a little fun fact.
And it kind of all came to a head when he went out of town. He had me listen to a conversation that he had with her where she was making some strange statements.
I want to hear that.
To be very clear, there was nothing threatening or terroristic.
Are you freaking kidding me?
Of any kind. She didn't threaten to hurt herself or the children or him. She did tell him that she was going to get rid of his stuff, which actually was true. That when he got back, his things were actually gone from the house.
Okay.
When he returned, she had canceled his flights and done some other things to kind of make it really difficult for him to get back.
Yeah.
When he did return, he found that the house was all locked up. No one was home. Gilbert PD helped break in a door so that he could get in the house, and they cleared the house to make sure it was.
Scared me.
He found some things missing, some clothes, a computer, but no one was home.
Okay.
And no evidence as to where they had gone.
What are you, a cop?
That's really the gist of it. I understand now from third parties that she is staying at a hotel, but she appears to be okay. The children are okay. I haven't talked to Charles here for a little bit, so I'm not sure where he is at.
Okay.
Huh.
Let me ask you, sir, if I may.
Weird, you have tabs on her, but not on him.
Did you listen to this? Was this like a live phone conversation, or was it a recording, or what did you listen to?
He put me in on a conversation. He just he didn't give me kind of warning on it. He just said, "Hold on a sec," and then I guess put me in on a conference call that he was doing with her.
Yeah. And
I thought I was listening to a recording at first, and then it dawned on me after a minute or so that this wasn't a recording, that it was actually a live conversation.
Okay.
And then it ended pretty quick right after that.
Okay. And just so I'm clear, she didn't threaten him, the children, or herself in that conversation?
No, everything was subjective. She did use the word destroy. She said, "I will destroy you," but it was done in a very subjective way that it didn't necessarily come across as a direct threat to him or the children or herself.
Okay. Like it could have been destroy his reputation or something less literal?
Everything. Spiritual, financially.
His spirit powers or something.
Literally.
Non-specific.
Okay. When she was speaking, and I know you said it was short, did she seem coherent, or was she?
She seemed coherent, but her statements were strangely irrational. She was accusing him of something, but would not tell him what it was.
Okay.
She seemed to indicate, again, in a somewhat oblique way, that he wasn't who he said he was. And the only thing that actually concerned me out of the conversation that I thought was beyond the pale, so to speak, was, he said, "Hey, I just want to see the kids," and she said something to the effect of, "Well, you want the kids, I'll give them to you," which I thought was a bit strange for a mom to say.
Yeah.
And that was kind of what made me wonder what was actually going on in her mind at that moment.
Okay.
But she sounded very lucid as she was speaking.
Okay. All right, so I think that's all. I really appreciate your time. I know this is an awkward position for you to be in, but I do appreciate the extra info.
No problem. I want to see everyone treated the best they can, and if she is in a bad state, that she gets the right kind of care, and hopefully
gotta keep her protected.
Yeah, I don't think anybody would disagree with you. So,
okay.
Thank you again.
Well, thank you, sir.
All right.
Bye.
Wow. Oh my God, I hate that thing. That scares me every damn time. Holy crap. Okay, let me just show y'all something real quick. This is what I wanted to show y'all. See this chick back here? Make sure y'all can hear me. Make sure you can see me. Or, yeah. Okay, this is Charles. This is at Colby's wedding. And this little broad right here, okay, I don't know who she is, but she looks a lot like, I don't know, it just caught my eye one day and I was like, is that Audrey? It just, because I wish there was a bigger picture or a wider picture so I could tell. So I could tell as it gets grainier. It's just weird. I don't know. And so that would be like way, if it is, I don't know. But I thought that was something I just wanted to bring to y'all's attention and kind of see. This is me. This is me, my nanny, Uncle Charles with the short shorts, my cousin Jonathan, and we're at the South Fork Ranch. Bebe's kid. I was dark. Uncle Charles was too. Look at them shorts though. That's nuts. And this is baseball picture. And baseball. Lake Charles, that is 73. And I'm trying. What was I initially? There's Mandy. Arrow. What was I doing? I know, not much longer. It's just there was something. I just can't remember what it was. This kills me. Right? His face. It looks like, have like little 15-second, still frames where it, just kind of freezes a little bit. And there's this one point where it's just like the life is sucked out. He is like, I'm done. He has no help. He realizes it, and it's so devastating, and it's just disheartening and unnecessary. This man should be here right now. So many things failed him. So many things. And then ultimately, Tylee and JJ and Tammy. It's just, and how many more? Just how many more? So, anyways, but I appreciate y'all being here. I see Donna back there just laughing. It's warm in here. I'm hot. Stir the pot. What the hell? Get your butt up, boy. He's going to be a hardhead again. This means he doesn't feel good. I told him earlier. I was like, you need to go back to the hospital? You need to go to the doctor? And he's like, no. I'm like, sleeping never does it. Never fixes it. Let's get that done. He's a hardhead. So he's going to call me in there to stir a damn pot? First off, hold on. It just registered. What the hell? But I love him. He does anything for me. So I need to shut up. But I like to talk shit. I talk a lot of caca. Anyways, sorry about, the slowness. And, y'all know I wing it here. That's what I do. It's what we do. We're casual, laid back. It's Sunday, almost damn Monday now. But I appreciate y'all being here. I really do. Uh, it would be nice to. We'll do that. We'll put more focus. We'll have it together though, allegedly. Probably not, but as good as we can. Just to learn from it. That's what we do. And so we need to write this down so that we can go to the attorneys or to the complaint department, suggestion box, anything. Been up cooking. Well, good. Getting your ass in the kitchen where you belong. I'm joking. Told you I talk a lot of caca. Well, thank y'all so much. He does. He soars with the angels. And I mean, I'm telling you, I don't know how this works. I don't conjure anything up. It's just a feeling. The feathers, and it really is a bigger story because it goes back to my brother. My brother talks through music. That's how he speaks. That's how I used to speak until this happened. And I had to learn, I'm learning how to speak. So, and to speak Mormonese. It's a whole nother world for me. But I remember that my brother opened up to me about JJ being adopted. And, at that time, my son was the whole parental alienation thing. So it's like I could kind of, not the same situation as my brother losing his son twice now, but once via adoption, the second time murder, holy crap. I can't even imagine. So he opened up and he told me about this song. And so he pulled up his phone and he pulled the song up, and it was, again, I listen to everything. Okay. It's just who I am. I listen to everything. And it's called Church, which is church, but in a slang talk. And it's CHUUCH. I have a video a long time ago when I used to just put pictures to songs. And it now in the background, now that I know what I know about Joel Osteen, I'm not like, I'm here for the message, right? I take what I need and I move along. And in the message, it's by Slim Thug, Church by Slim Thug. And it's a positive rap song, and so that's how Todd relates things, that's how he shares his feelings. And in that, it'll play like sound bits of Joel Osteen saying, birds of a feather flock together. If you want to soar with the eagles, you can't hang out with the chickens. So birds, it started there, with Todd, me and Todd. And then I got chills big time. And then whenever Uncle Charles was murdered at his celebration of life, I had so many decorations to decorate that banquet room. It was pretty cool. My son, he had just came back into my life after 6 years of being apart. And chaos. Then chaos came, and it's just like it's robbed even more time, with my kids and just fixing those relationships. And anyways, and so I'm making all these flower arrangements and everything, and Zach is just like, oh my God, because I orbit. Well, anyways, we get to the Civic Center. And I set up all the tables, and he came up, and he came up to me, and he just was like, oh my God. And he just hugged me, and I was like, what? He was like, you did it. You pulled it off. And I was like, you doubted me? I got this. I know, I'm like Pigpen, but it gets done. Anyways, so that was a big compliment to me because he, was just like, I didn't know he was even filling me out, but it was just kind of cute. But so it all goes back. And so when Uncle Charles looked at me in that week, it was around that week whenever him and Mom, he came and dropped JJ off in Lake Charles. Him and Mom went to Phoenix Arizona, and moved him to Houston. that week we had JJ, just JJ, no mama. So it was crazy and fun, and it was good. And anyway, so I don't want to lose it. So I looked over, but this is before Uncle Charles left, and so I was cleaning a high top, one of the vehicles for the fleet, and so JJ and Silas are running around like some crazy kids, okay? And I wipe the windows. I'm doing the inside, right? Jason did the outside. I do the inside. And I kept having to lock the doors because I was not about to let those boys in the... They were going to tear it up. They were going to put handprints everywhere. I was like, So I kept playing, kept hitting the locks, and I was like, I'm about to be done, you know? And I mean, they were just being boys, you know? And I looked over at Uncle Charles. He was, you know, he was outside in the shop, but, you know, over there. And I looked over at him, and that's when he was on his phone, and, you know, he was doing whatever he was doing on his phone. So him and Lori were split up, and I just kind of observed him. And so JJ started to have a meltdown. And this was so big for me. It really is just one of those moments, you know, where I was just like, wow. And JJ was melting down, and Uncle Charles, he, you know, knelt down to JJ's level, eyes, you know, he grounded him, and he secured it. You know, he just secured it. He made him feel secure, grounded, and he was gentle. And I really admired him for that. And I felt, you know, I'm not going to say prompted. I don't say prompted. I felt like I needed to tell him that. and so I was like, oh my God, you know, and he doesn't take compliments just like me. I'm just like, yeah, okay, well, you did good, you know. And so I told him that my grandfather remarried, right? Anyways. And so I have a step uncle, Billy, who has Down syndrome. He's just a little bit older than me. I'm 45. And my papa taught him, it was Billy's stepfather, my papa Vallow, taught Billy how to say the 10 or 15 words that he ever learned. And he would always fidget with things. You know how JJ was on the couch, the last picture, and he's just kind of fidgeting with the little cups. And that Billy would do that all the time too. But my papa was like that with Billy, and I saw Uncle Charles like that with JJ, and I just admired the hell out of that. You know, I was just like, wow, that's good. That's good. That's good people. Love always wins. Damn right. And this is the cloth that I'm cut from. Yeah, we share the same cloth, you know, and I'm honored by that. I am. But it made me realize a lot of things. And so when I told him that, he didn't say things. He was just like, and he was like, Presha, this is the last thing that my uncle ever said to me. And he said, how do we get to Todd? How do we get to Todd? I put my head down. I was like, I don't know. I didn't expect that, you know. How do we get to Todd? Todd is his nephew. I need to take some medicine. And Todd is JJ's biological father. There's love there. I love that. How do we get to Todd? So when Uncle Charles was murdered, I did not tell Todd right away. Mom and Larry, they went to Arizona to go. Yeah, y'all know. You got the audio when they talked to Detective Moffat. And so when I did decide, I waited a couple of days. I did not want my brother to fly off the handle and go do, you know, just saying, eye for an eye type of deal. So I told my brother that Uncle Charles had been murdered. And I mean, you could just see it wash over him. And I was like, and the last thing that he told me he asked about you. How do we get to Todd? And that just broke him, you know. And I know that we all backslide. I do. I do. It's part of the process. It reminds you of like, oh yeah, I don't like being here. I'm going to keep moving forward. Tomorrow's a new day. And so that's part of my brother's process. And I respect it in his time. And it's looking up for him. And I'm glad. I'm proud of him. And whatever it takes, you know, for him to live a sober and happy. I want him to be happy and love himself. He deserves that. We all do. I do. We do too. I can stuff a pillow or more. Feathers everywhere. I've had 3 red cardinals land at one. Oh, well, not at one time. There were 2, and I was like, "Oh crap, there are 2." And then a 3rd one flew, and I about fell out. You know, I was like, "Oh my god!" I got it on camera. It's just these. There is signs. There are symbols. The other day, I went outside to go throw, you know, some trash, and if I see something in the rocks on my way back, you know, I'll pick it up. And so I see a nickel, and I'm like, "Oh, okay." Right next to it was a damn feather. And I was like, whoa, a nickel and a feather. It's just kind of a twofer, right? I didn't even have to bend over twice. It was right there. It was cool. And it is what it is. You make whatever it is, you know, as long as it's not hurting anybody or yourself and it's positive, however you look at it. I look at it the way I do. You look at it the way you do. It's just those little things that remind us that we're not alone, you know? I really don't think we are. And they want justice just as much as, if not more than us, you know? And Uncle Charles has spoken from the grave, well, from the urn. Inappropriate, I know. But I'm just saying, he did his homework, and it's coming back, and it's that karma. You know, them tables, they always turn. Not when I want them to, but they do. So that's good. We got that going for us. And thank y'all for being here. I love you. Justice for Tylee, Charles, Tammy, JJ, and Joe. Love always wins. Thank you, moderators. Thank you for super chats. Thank you for commenting and just putting up on my ass. It was fun. It was nice. And I miss them. And I wish you could have met them. You know? Maybe one day. Anyways, I love you guys. Love always wins. Inappropriate. I'm always inappropriate. Oh, yeah. Subtle as an elephant.